on Legion. As like always, we got some more fantastic beasts and the crimes of Grindelwald. It's just a quick little, not clip, about 2 minutes long. So let's just get into it, check it out, see what it's all about. Let's hope we get to see more of their epicness that is this movie. I'm really looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good, so let's go.
Having the opportunity to go back and see what made the man that we all loved become who he was is a really rare and a really extraordinary experience.
So when I met Jude, I basically told him everything about Dumbledore that I've ever known. Because without that knowledge, Jude is playing someone who appears to be playing games with people's lives. And that's not who Dumbledore is.
What became apparent very early on was, like any man or any human, one is not the same at 45 as, say, 145.
In this movie, he's slightly mysterious, and we see him through the eyes of Newt Scamander.
One of my favourite things about the new film is the beginning of the exploration into Newt and Dumbledore's relationship.
Dumbledore recognised the brilliance in Newt and the good heart.
Very few people, if any, ever call Dumbledore on his Dumbledorishness. In other words, his withholding of information.
Well, that's all very well, Dumbledore, but forgive me for asking, why can't you go?
He has this dark past in which
At the end, Harry Potter was
ideology.
getting there.
The relationship between Grindelwald and Dumbledore is key to making Dumbledore Dumbledore.
You and Grindelwald were
The
as
death of
close
his
as
sister,
brothers.
right?
Oh, we were closer than brothers.
The teenager received a wound from which Dumbledore never recovered. Never recovered.
I am positive that there was a mutual respect of one another's abilities, and I'm sure, especially with Grindelwald, there a jealousy, also maybe a bitterness for having such love and respect.
I think he feels he can rectify wrongs that he's been a part of creating.
So he's trying to advise people, don't be brutal to his supporters. You are playing into his hands. No one's listening. As often happens with Dumbledore, no one's listening.
Theseus, if Grindelwald calls a rally, don't try and break it up.
But however bleak things get, Dumbledore's always got that slightly mischievous side. I think it's going to surprise
It's
people.
cool to see
and
her
he's
in
done
this
an
talking.
amazing job.
He has an extraordinary wiseness, but a wry humour to him.
I am very excited to now weave that story and show us how he got there.
Bam, bam, ba-da-da. Okay, so one of my concerns, nothing about this movie. So rallying, I have all the faith in the world. The movies, I've never watched like a Harry Potter or Fantastic Beasts and gone, wow, the writing's bad or whatever. Usually when I am very critical of a movie, you know, and I've seen actors or actresses in other things, it's made me realize that it's made me realize that it's not maybe always an actor that's bad at being an actor. Maybe it's the writing, and they either just cannot get into that mode. It's just the writing is the way the person speaks may just not be something that just goes with the person acting. Maybe the actor or actress doesn't have any faith in the writing, and they half-ass it, or they just can't get behind it and it's lackluster. So sometimes whenever I'm critical about a movie, I don't go, oh man, that was bad because the acting was horrible. Sometimes I go, oh man, I think the acting was horrible because the writing was bad. I try to be open, whether it's a good or a bad thing. Oh man, that was incredible. Acting was good, but the writing sold it. You know, I try to, you know, the special effects, the visual effects, all the effects, you know, gave us this huge world that we believed in, whether it's a Star Wars world or a Lord of the Rings world or whatever. The special effects there, you know, that adds to the world. So I always try to be critical. So with that being said, Jude Law and King Arthur was garbage. It was horrible. That was a horrible movie. He wasn't particularly bad as an actor. His character as Merlin was just crappy. I feel like it was not the best writing. I felt like it was not a good movie in general. It's going to be what the Jamie Foxx in the new movie The Robin Hood, with whoever's Robin Hood, or I think it's him. That's going to be horrible too. That's going to be trash. I don't have to watch it. It's the same as The Wall with Matt Damon. I love Matt Damon. The Bourne movies are some of my favorites ever. That movie it was bad, I guess. I liked it, but I liked it because it was bad. Like, those are they're it's like when you look at like action movies, you're like, that's not really a good action movie. That's a B movie, right? Pirates of the Caribbean, Harry Potter, those are, we don't call them like triple A's or whatever. That's a video game term, like triple A titles. But those are the gold screen standard movies. They're good. I mean, they're both by Disney. They're both a little too lighthearted, but like the Bourne trilogy, everything else after the first three doesn't matter. But the first three, they were an action movie, they were a shoot 'em up movie, but they were also a political thriller movie. They had something in there. There was substance to them. When you watch these historical shoot 'em up or slash 'em up movies, The Wall, King Arthur, and what Robin Hood's going to be, they are the same B movie shoot 'em up crappy style, but put in a medieval format. And King or Arthur, the Legend of the Sword, or whatever the hell it was called, was one of those movies. I don't think Jude Law is a horrible actor. He's had some pretty bad roles, bad decisions, being in a lot of romantic comedy type things, I believe, early years ago. But that Arthur movie, he was like, all right, he gave the look. He looked badass, but everything involving the character, maybe it was the writing or whatever it was behind it, the direction, the director telling him how to play the character, it wasn't good. But like, I looked at the cover of that movie, I looked at how he walked, I'm like, oh, Jude Law, so badass. Oh, he's so cool. He looks like that's Merlin? I didn't know he was playing Merlin. Now he looks like a king. Oh, this is going to be awesome. And then everything in the movie was bad. I have a lot of faith in Rowling. I have a lot of faith in the writing. I have a lot of faith in Jude. I hope we don't get some inkling to what that was. I hope it's not Jude Law is the problem. It is the common denominator in these movies. I hope it was just that movie, Arthur, and not him. That's my only concern. Eddie Redmayne, hey man, I've only really seen him, I think. I never watched the Hawking movie, and I really haven't watched him in anything else besides Fantastic Beasts. I'm down to see it. I think he was good in the first. I love him as Mr. Scamander. I think it's a good character, and I think he does a great job doing it. He's gotten plenty of Oscar nominations, and I think wins, at least one, that I can think of. He's acclaimed. He's good, and that's why he's here. He plays an incredible character. And every little bit and scene and cut, whether it was from Arthur or this, looks awesome. It looks badass for Jude Law. I hope the overall movie isn't a disappointment, because Jude Law can do a highlight reel, but he couldn't do a movie. I don't want to say that. I don't want to feel that. So with this movie, that's what I'm going to be looking out for, and that's what I'm going to be wondering about. With that, I'm going to get out of here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. And those are just my thoughts about Jude Law. I thought we'd talk about this a little bit, talk about this more. I already did Fantastic Beasts reactions earlier in the week, or should be the day before or sometime around there. So, yeah, if you want to get into that, or I wanted to specifically talk about something a little different than just the movie, but my concerns or my hopes and dreams for the cast. So thanks for watching again, and I'll see you on whatever video I'm doing next. Later, guys.